Hello, my name's The Drawing Morgs, and I wanted to ask you, have you heard of it? This is a series I'm starting where I cover anime and mostly manga that I've read and watched over the years that I feel like aren't really well known and aren't that popular in the anime and manga space. The things I'll basically cover in this series is a little history about the anime or manga, the general story, the characters, the art, and my overall feelings on the series as a whole. To start off this series, there's a manga that instantly came to mind for me. One that I have loved since I was young, and one that I am more than positive you have either never heard of it, or you have seen it, but you've never given it a shot. So, have you heard of Plus Anima? Also, just a fair warning to you guys, because I was rereading the manga and looking through it again while editing this. We do not support nor like chapter 25. Yeah, I would say that's pretty much one of the main things that did not age well in it. And I don't know why they even included it, because these characters literally never come back. So, yeah, just fair warning for chapter 25. It's kinda gross. No, not Plus Anime, I mean Plus Anima. For some reason, Google thinks that I always mean anime, but no, I mean Anima. Plus Anima was created back in 1999 and was illustrated and written by Natsumi Mukai. As far as we know, Mukai has only ever written 3 series, one of them being Plus Anima, obviously, another one being New, and the last one being Wandle Wandering. Out of the 3 series, Plus Anima was the most successful purely because at least it got 10 volumes and it got a full English translation, while New only got 3 volumes and 1 official English translation for volume 1, and Wandle Wandering is actually the most interesting because even under Mukai's wiki of works, it isn't even listed. Honestly, Wandle Wandering is interesting because, like, most places I have looked, they have only had fan translations up to chapter 6 or for volume 1, and there's 4 volumes as far as we're aware. Maybe I should look into Wandle Wandering for a video. If this video gets 50 likes, I'll cover Wandle Wandering, get the volumes, and maybe get it translated. Or at least, like, fully read the manga. I can probably get the translations myself somehow, so we'll see what happens. Anyways, back to my love Plus Anima. Let's get into the actual general plot of the story. If I had to say, the world of Plus Anima is somewhat of a mix of the medieval and industrial era, where there's 2 large nations that we focus on, Asteria and Sailend, with us spending most of the series in Asteria. The world overall is pretty normal, however, there lies a mystery of humans turning into beings known as Anima. That's where the title gets its name. Anima are humans, often children, that somehow gain the abilities and marks of animals. In this story, we follow 4 Anima orphan children as they travel around Asteria to find a place where they can truly be happy and feel like they belong. You see, Anima are typically feared almost anywhere you go, since they are often seen as some kind of monster. I mean, logically speaking, Anima are basically humans that are more advanced due to their supernatural abilities. And since there isn't a lot known about Anima, such as why they have the abilities that they do, why they exist, where they come from, and them being as rare as they are, Anima are overall looked down upon and feared all at the same time for being odd. Now, getting into the characters, because honestly the series is very much character-based for about 90% of the manga. These kids are pretty important. Firstly, we have our kind of main character, Kuro. Kuro is a crow anima, with his abilities only really being flying. He has marks on his shoulders, and his wings are black, which doesn't seem very important, but for Kuro, a lot of people that see him often think he is a demon or a bringer of death. This just pushes the idea that people are afraid of Anima more, which is a bit laughable because Kuro is anything but a demon, he is mainly a little angel. He is fun-loving, energetic, naive, and not the sharpest tool in the shed. I would say he isn't the leader, but he is the glue that keeps all the characters together, and he's also actually the most mysterious character out of them all as well. Next, we have our character Husky, and he's a fish anima. What kind of fish? I'm not sure. But whatever fish he's based on, it's a fish that is blue and often found in ponds. From what I could look into of what that could possibly be, it's most likely a blue or platinum koi fish, but that's just my own theory. For Husky, he basically turns into a merman. He can swim really fast and breathe underwater. He has a fish tail, etc., etc. His marks are on his neck, which he primarily keeps covered, which in the Plus Anima world is pretty smart. Again, with these marks being so prevalent and marks are typically associated with anima, he's basically protecting himself in that case. Husky is actually quite admired when he is in his anima form, since he looks like a beautiful mermaid to most people. He actually takes advantage of his beauty several times in the series because Husky loves beautiful things. He's sassy, a bit of a snob, and he's money hungry, and I would say the true leader of the group as well. Husky is realistic and often has a hard time with Kuro, since Kuro is very much an optimist. The next character in our group we meet is Nana, a bat anima. And to be totally transparent, if we're talking about which of these four have the best abilities, it's Nana, hands down. She can fly, she's super fast, she has supersonic hearing, she can see in the dark, and she has a supersonic scream. Not only is her mark on her back, and it's super rad looking, but she can actually hide it the best out of all of them because it's just in such a natural place. Though, if you ask Nana what she would think of her mark and her abilities overall, she would be totally against it because it goes against her girly cottagecore aesthetic. Nana is sassy, strong-spoken, also money hungry, and is the full-on middle ground of a realist and an optimist. I would say Nana and Husky are very similar, which makes even more sense that they tend to butt heads because they always kind of do. It doesn't help that Husky isn't fond of women, which I would cover in this series. Just know, it's important. Last but very much not least is Sensorai, a bear anima. For Sensorai, his mark is on his right arm, and his sick-ass ability is just straight up having a bear arm. Sensorai is an almost completely mute character, and overall doesn't express a lot of emotion, although he is the gentle giant type, for sure, and is basically the big brother to everyone in the group. Another thing about him that is genuinely important to know is he doesn't have the best memory due to his anima. This is story related, but we won't cover that because it's a little mystery. So he actually carries around a book with him that he keeps pressed flowers in, feathers, and other different knickknacks and doodads to help him remember people and locations. So that's a cute little fact about him. For me, all the main characters have a wonderful charm to them, and any of the side characters that come into the story are also fun and interesting in some way, shape, or form. There's also other anima in the series as well, and they really do help build onto the mystery that is the anima mystery in general. I would like to tell you more about it, but honestly, a big part of the story is learning more and more about how anima come to be and how the world reacts to them, and just how unknowledgeable a majority of the people are about anima in the world of Plus Anima. The art of the series, you can definitely tell it is an older series. However, the art, I think, is pretty lovely, charming, and cute. The author and their team are also very open on how they came up with the design details, and you can tell they really understood the fashion and culture of the world they created. Even a little fun fact they share as a bonus panel is sometimes they forget to ink Sensorai's mouth and even joke if he really needs one all the time anyways, because you know, he doesn't really talk that much. I'm a very, picky person when it comes to how manga looks, so the fact that I really like this art style after all these years. I think really stands up to the times very well, and I think it would blend in pretty well also with the current anime sphere. Overall, Plus Anima to this day is very much my favorite manga of all time, and I don't think it'll ever be topped. However, I know that it isn't the best manga of all time. The first volume is very basic in its concept, even though I think it's a very strong has a very strong opening chapter to how the world works, but the first volume is primarily character introductions for the main four, which I feel like people tend to not be very fond of, especially back in the day. However, I think Plus Anima, if anything, was ahead of its time, and I think it would do a lot better in today's anime and manga space. The slice of life adventure genre is more common nowadays and is a lot more beloved. If anything, if I had to make any comparisons to anything recent, Dungeon Meshi is definitely an example I would use. Definitely doesn't hold a candle to Dungeon Meshi, but it's pretty close. All in all, I mean this with all of my heart. Give Plus Anima a try. It's super fun, and like I said, it isn't a very long series. It only has 10 volumes, aka 56 chapters, and you can actually still find it online for purchase. Just a fair warning, volumes 8 and 7, I believe, tend to vary in price. So, fair warning there, but you can always read it online as well. With all that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this first episode of Have You Heard of It? This is something very new for me, so any feedback would be wonderful to hear, and if you've read Plus Anima or have any recommendations about manga or anime that I should cover, let me know in the comments down below. So, anyways guys, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.